We celebrate the 43-year reign of the speed metal kings, Metallica. With 9 Grammy Awards and 14 nominations, 38 concert tours worldwide, and 11 studio albums that span 4 decades, the Titans of Thrash remain the standard by which all other metal is measured. We begin with a 1984 classic from their second album, For Whom the Bell Tolls, followed by the 1992 tour anthem, Wherever I May Roam. And then, let's turn down the house and light up the stage for the Auburn University Marching Band and their show, Metallica.
Sunday night has returned, and we are back for another live recording of the Auburn Experience podcast, the main show of everything we do here at E2C Network. We're going to talk about Auburn sports, Auburn culture, Auburn family stuff, and of course, a lot of things to discuss in potpourri. Let's get into all those different things right now. David Housel described it best. We are living the whole of the Auburn experience. You can quantify it, you can qualify it through a variety of methods, time, people, places, and things. But at its heart and at its core, the Auburn experience is all about Auburn sports, Auburn culture, and Auburn family stuff. An easier way to say it, though, is if it's orange and blue, it's what we do. So thank you so much for joining us and what we're going to be doing today. Episode 151 of the Auburn Experience podcast. As always, I'm your host, Kyle Loomis, and back in the saddle for another 150 episodes, I hope, Mr. Austin Scott.
Sure, why not? War Eagle, thanks so much, Kyle. My Siri just turned on when I said sure.
Well, that's kind of creepy.
That was weird.
Yeah, a little bit odd.
Tim, stop. Anyway, War Eagle, I'm glad. I hope Tim listens, but I hope it's not through that way.
Hey, Tim, if you're listening, we could use a little something on the
side.
Hey,
we'll sponsor Apple all you want, Tim. This can become the Apple experience.
I am literally using an older model of one.
I'm looking at so much Apple right now.
It's what's happening right now. Come on, Tim, get on board here. We got to get some help over here. And apparently we need some cough drops too, because that's that time
send them over. Well, another thing to discuss another day, but I don't know. Have you seen much about Tim and Apple recently? It doesn't seem like they're in the best relationship.
Tim Cook and Apple?
Yeah, I feel like I just feel like I've read some things. Is my mic on?
Yeah, your mic's good. Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
I got you loud and clear.
Oh, I see it. Man, I'm so thrown off to start this show
because
I don't know why.
So many places.
But yeah, I feel like I read something that they might be on the outs. Like they might be pushing him out, but no matter. All this is happening because he started my Siri on my phone, which probably just turned it on again. I'm doing great. How are you, Kyle?
Welcome to the Tim Cook Apple drama show. Apparently, well, I was going to start off with something like cheery and merry, but you kind of brought the whole thing down. 2 minutes into the show with Apple maybe trying to get rid of Tim Cook. Look, one of the things that I have loved about being part of the Auburn experience is like us being able to brag about so many different our influences, like everywhere. Well, you got your, for now, Tim Cook's and Apple. You got your Octavia Spencer's and acting. I don't know his name completely yet, but there's like the president of Walt Disney World is an Auburn guy as well.
Yeah, wasn't that crazy?
The Wikipedia guy apparently is Auburn too, and the list goes on and on. And then
who's the most recent person we found out? Like more local. Hibbets.
That and Jody Benson, the voice of Ariel. I mean, that's an Auburn person. Auburn ties too.
We're everywhere, man.
Everywhere and nowhere all at once. You can't get rid of us. That's why we do the Auburn Experience show. Anyway, what I was going to try to be all cheery about, I've been like teasing y'all every single week, making a call for our audience. I got to see y'all's Auburn Christmas stuff. The next element is going to be going up at some point. The orange and blue lights. Here's the struggle, Austin, every year. Now, look. Yeah, I guess you can kind of see him back there. There's Santa.
I see him.
Right there.
He's out of focus, but I see him. No, he was good.
Well, it's okay. Yeah, there we go. I struggle with where to put these because one time I did it like behind the picture frame, but they always fall off. Like I thought do them around me the entire show. I don't know if that's.
If you could string them like back and forth from the corner, your bookshelf is that a bucket hat up there over your left shoulder.
Just a hat.
Well, from there to like the side and then back a few times, like it would fill your frame here.
We'll think about it. I don't know. I gotta think out something this year because I love these orange and blue lights. So that's just my little.
That's a good one.
Our point in bringing this up, folks, we've been for the last 3 weeks now, and this is going to be your shtick for the entire time for me. I need to see y'all's Auburn Christmas stuff, whether it's Auburn Christmas ornaments, if you got a creepy Auburn Santa back there who Austin said last week needs to have a blue coat.
I think he needs blue with orange trim. That is my preference.
And I'm also going to ask this because I think we're on the same wavelength here. I think you had homework that you were supposed to present us this week.
Maybe did I have homework?
I think you were. So you were supposed to present us something this week related to Auburn and Christmas.
I hope it's what I'm thinking of.
I think it is what it is. How much more do you need me to delay for you?
Yeah. So I thought of it as you brought up Santa. Did we talk? We talked about how we had Aubie Claus this week, right?
Yes. Well, you said you were going to. I didn't know if we had stuff to share or anything.
No, we went to Aubie Claus on Thursday. I think it was Thursday afternoon. First of all, before I share pictures, overall great experience. Top-notch job by Aubie and his friends. Did a wonderful job with the setup in Beardy's Memorial Coliseum. Far better than the Research Park last year. And it was smooth last year, but just in and out of the Coliseum very easily last year with parking. Obviously, me coming from work, it was much easier too. So top-notch job to them. The theme was great. It was a lot of fun. We had big-time progress this year. I'm going to shout out the boys that we had big-time progress for last year. We wanted absolutely nothing to do with Aubie. We wanted no part of being with Aubie on the picture or anything like that. This year, we were a little more timid, or a little timid still. Brooks had no blank face. He was wide eyes. What's this? What are we doing? Barrett was teary. We had some problems.
Okay.
So, I'm just showing you.
Yeah.
Here.
We got it.
Okay.
Look at that.
So Barrett's crying just a little bit. This is I'm showing my kids on the World Wide Web.
Yeah,
Brooks
I did not ask you to do this.
Yeah, Emily's screaming right now. Oh my gosh, this is hard. There's Barrett. So we were struggling. Okay, but then we went to you get 3 poses, right?
Yeah.
And I don't have a second one, but here's our next one.
Oh, I love
and
that
Aubie got on the couch and away from all of us a little bit, and we calmed down just a little bit.
Okay.
So, but really good. I mean, a nice little Christmas at
that's
home.
Pretty good setup there.
Setup. I'm doing a terrible job showing this.
Sorry.
But really great job. I think I was encouraged from progress from last year to this year. I think next year maybe we'll get some smiles. Maybe the year after we'd get just them sitting next to Aubie. We get a picture of just the boys with Aubie.
Slowly work your way through.
So you never know, but I was very surprised, pleasantly optimistic about how it was going to go. It went well. Aubie Claus, another year in the books.
Another year in the books. Hopefully we'll get into that someday. But listen, you're telling me the do's and don'ts now, or that it's getting better.
You just low expectations. You got to go into it low expectations, and it'll all be fine.
Yeah, I'm excited to do it because listen, who doesn't want to have a picture with Aubie Claus? I mean, it's the best.
Come on,
it's the best version of Claus out there. It's
the best,
and he's actually got claws.
That's right. They had in the shop. I was very tempted, but I did not purchase my own Aubie Claus jammies. I would have loved to wear them for you on our Christmas episode, but I decided not to do that this year. We do need to pick a Christmas episode, where I don't know if you have any Auburn Christmas stuff you can wear, but we need to go all out.
Okay, we'll talk.
I don't know what days Christmas falls on this year, day of the week, but maybe we can figure that out.
I like this version of Austin. He's getting into this with me. I like this. This new.
Man, there's a tree in my living room right now. Before Thanksgiving, I'm just telling you, there's a tree in my living room. I've gone soft.
This is what'll happen after 150 episodes. Now moving into 151, he's finally broken him, folks. It only took.
It's all you. Has nothing to do with the kids.
Nothing whatsoever. Because I'm definitely not a lot cuter than them. My wife can tell you that much. All right, enough self-deprecating humor. Then I didn't expect us to spend that much time talking about that, but I'm glad we did. Here, real quick, we're going to move into Auburn potpourri time, but I just want to. we're about the Auburn experience here. And I continue to tell you folks that if all you think about is football, first of all, you're going to be a miserable person these days. Second of all, you're just not getting the fullness of the Auburn experience, and you're not enjoying it to the best. I had a great Auburn weekend on what was going to be probably very low-key, a football game that not a lot of people were excited about, given the context of everything, but just the fact of who the opponent was. But the weather was a little bit iffy to start off with, but once that blew away, got to go to Equestrian, so I'm take down the number 1 Georgia Bulldogs. We probably should be number 1 after that, is all I'm saying.
Better be. We took down 2 last week. Better be 1 this week.
Shout out to Auburn Elvis. Saw him there doing his coverage for the War Horses show. And then made my way over to the Football Fans.
There you go.
And Feathers. I got it right. Show.
That's your first time this year?
That is my first time this year. I'm going to try to go once every year. And this time I got to do it at night, which... Yeah, well,
after daylight savings.
Actually, so it was started with like sunset, dusk, and then pretty much night by the time we left. We had a very interesting flight with one Independence.
I saw that.
Yeah, Independence.
She got a little frisky out there.
Well, frisky makes it sound a little bit inappropriate, but
she spread her wings, you would say.
She lived up to her name of Independence.
There you go.
And decided to go fly off into the distance. I want to just say this, folks, for those of you that watch that video, it looks so much worse of a situation than it actually was. I can tell you that firsthand as someone who used to work with raptors and birds, had volunteered at the Raptor Center a long time ago. Everything was fine. Everything was under control.
I know the answer to this, but I was going to ask you that. They didn't show. There's no panic from these people when that stuff like that happens, right?
Well, there's no panic, but you gotta make sure that you keep an eyes on them,
right?
So that you'll see in the video some handlers running out into the woods, essentially.
Yeah,
but the angle of our video, makes it look like she's gone. Like there's no coming back.
It did.
That thing stretched forever back there. So you're fine. We're fine. Independence is still with us. Just wanted to literally live up to her name. Did that. Ate at Sheila C's Burger Barn.
How was that?
A long wait this time, but that's just because it's a Friday night. But hey, excellent food as always. And then of course football. Yeah. And I had not therapy, but Victory Taco Bell finally this year. So it was a good Auburn week for me. That's kind of how it all went for me. But enough about me in this week, unless there's something from this weekend that you wanted to share.
No, that Obby Claus was my main one I was going to share with you all, and we had a good weekend too. Took the boys to the game. We made it through the half. Made it through the half. Cut our losses when we were ahead, both on the field and off. And so the eagle flew from right above us. So
that's right. You would have been right there.
That to have the boys there for that was like extra special. That was, and like. Not to boost the ego, but like I kind of noticed before the rest of the section. And so I got to be like, hey, Brooks, my toddler I'm holding, there's the eagle up there. And everybody's like, ooh. So I was kind of like, letting everybody else know.
Just making yourself feel real good about yourself, aren't you?
I was. I'm the co-host of the Auburn Experience, so I got to, try and give it off to people. I'm also, I don't know if we've discussed this. I favor having Aria fly at the football games, the Golden Eagle.
Showing a little bit of preference, I see.
I do show preference. To me, that's a little bit more tradition.
Okay, you're one of those.
We can debate that another day.
That's fine. You can be wrong.
I've never seen Aria fly away from Football Fans and Feathers, so
you can be wrong. That's fine.
You prefer that bald?
No one said anything about a preference, but I'll defend my little Eagles every chance I get.
I'm just saying, if I had the choice, that we don't fly two. If I had the choice, I'm picking the golden one. Anyway, she flew right over us. She flew right over us, and that was pretty awesome to see too. But the boys had a great time. They loved the band. They watched Obby with a giant banana get chased by a gorilla. What more could you?
I forgot about that. That was
good.
Obby was on one in this game. He was doing some good shenanigans, and you actually could watch him because the game finally got in hand.
That's right.
Significantly. Anyway, we'll talk about that coming up here in a little bit. Volleyball. Let's talk about volleyball. When we left you last week, wrap up of the season, and we warned you that just because Auburn volleyball sat there as one of the lower seeds, still a bye in the first round, that you didn't need to sleep on them because they once again have earlier in the season they did a reverse sweep, meaning if for those of you that need a little bit of education on volleyball here, you play 3 sets, wins at everything, so you can go all the way up to 5. That 5th one will be a shortened version of it. If you do a reverse sweep, which means that you gave up the first 2 sets, won the next 2, and then won that 5th and final one, all 3 in a row. They did it in the regular season against a good opponent. Almost did it again, I think, if I'm in the regular season.
Against Texas, yes.
Texas. And then they did it again in the first round for an upset over Oklahoma. And we got to see it on the Jumbotron inside Jordan-Hare during the game, which made it even better because, let's be honest, the majority of Auburn fans probably weren't even aware that was going on. And so that was a great moment for them to get a little bit of recognition, to watch that transpire and happen in the middle of the football game. So Coach Crouch, now to put everything in perspective, they got put out today by the number 2 overall team in women's volleyball, Kentucky.
Yep.
But hey, they gave them a fight. They beat them last year in a big upset. Hey, I think they're probably going to be making the tournament, the actual NCAA tournament. It's been a pretty good year for them.
Yeah, pretty good year. I'm glad you brought up them being on the Jumbotron too, because that was really cool to see. I don't feel like, of course, now, like we've said last week, this was the first SEC tournament back in quite some time for volleyball. Right. So that doesn't happen very often. That it also works out. It's happening at the same time, but that was really cool to have a nice Auburn family moment and cheer on the girls. And I think, obviously they were higher seeded by 1 than Oklahoma, the 8 over the 9. Mm-hmm. And that was, chalk for them to go on and win and then lose to a top 2 seed. But they did what they were supposed to. And I think that they did it in thrilling fashion, because why wouldn't you if you're an Auburn sports fanatic? They don't play normal matches, game sets, whatever. So really happy for them. Really excited to see where maybe they end up and follow however long their season continues.
Yeah, that's it's been a good bounce back year for them after a little bit of a drop off.
Selection show.
I should know that, and I don't.
Well, if today was a loss to Kentucky, then semifinals will be tomorrow, and then finals Tuesday. So maybe Wednesday selection show.
Wednesday. Wednesday feels right.
Or maybe Tuesday night. I don't know.
I was gonna say it could be like football. We literally just play the championship game and it's selected after that. I don't know.
Yeah.
For the SEC. Anyway, volleyball action still ongoing, and they already have had a little bit of fireworks in somewhat of their postseason play right now. Now, we're not going to do a full basketball segment, Austin, because we got other things we're going to discuss today. But we do need to address, obviously, a little bit of what's transpired and what's about to happen for men specifically. Took down Jackson State in record fashion. Can we just acknowledge 5 for 5 in three-pointers, which was pretty fun to end that game versus Jackson State.
Yeah, Mr. Simon Walker.
Mr. Simon Walker. I keep trying to change Simon Walker and Justin Powell and call like Justin Walker and Simon Powell.
Simon Powell.
I know there was another same ethnicity 3-point shooter that we had a few years ago that I get them interchanged and I kind of mix their names up and all that kind of stuff.
Is there a Simon Powell though? I feel like that's a real person.
There was somebody of similar name and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, but how about that little ending there from him? For his first action of the year.
Well, and I I really don't want to make this seem like is the case, but I think there's probably a handful of people who think Simon Walker is a walk-on, or thought in that moment because he hasn't played this year, and
sure.
And just being quite upfront and honest with you, his ethnicity.
Sure.
But he is not. He was
actually a pretty good basketball player.
3 or 4 star recruit from Huntsville, Alabama at Huntsville High School, and has just had some injuries that have slow played him to start the year, and so was able to get into the game and let him kind of let it fly, and let it fly. He did with 5 threes that were just absolutely stroked, nothing but net and perfect. So I think you have to be really excited that maybe he gets worked back in the rotation as he becomes healthier, and you get to see more of what Simon Walker can do for Auburn, and as this team continues to find out who it is. But that was certainly a way to introduce yourself.
Yeah, and let's be honest, when you take down a team as bad as you did Jackson State, that really becomes the main point. Keyshawn Hall was out, obviously, after his injury. That's probably the other bigger story out of that, and there's implication of will we see him, and what we'll talk about real quickly here. Big week for Auburn men's basketball. I mean, you thought the Houston matchup was big, and it was number one team at the time.
Certainly.
But this is an event of sorts where Auburn can really stake its claim for where it falls in the pecking order of college basketball. They established with Houston that they are worthy of competing with the best of the best, at least in the context of at that time with the rankings and stuff. And Houston, I think, is going to be one of the best all season based off of what we saw. But they can find out where they match up with the players era. I still don't understand this fully. I shared how it works a little bit. They posted some stuff in the Auburn basketball account, so go read that. I'm not even going to try to explain it.
Saw
here.
That too. Yeah,
it's like group play, and then somehow they're going to rank you based off all that group play to determine who's going to play for the championship, and then the third place game, the fifth place, the seventh place game. But the best of the best, right, or some of the best are all going to be here in Vegas, and Auburn's got a chance to take on Oregon, Michigan, and a team to be determined for 3 high-profile games. How are we feeling about this, Austin?
It good. You're excited to compete. There's not going to be easy. I think you have to be excited. One, because of how well they played against Houston and against their only really high-level talent so far this year. Now you have to factor in Keyshawn Hall is not going to be fully ready to go, if ready to go at all.
Sure.
And certainly you have to make that case, but that's also a chance for people to step up that might get more minutes or might have the ball in their hands a little bit more or might have the focus on them a little bit more. So I think if you're Auburn and you're Auburn fans, now certainly I think Stephen Pearl, as he so eloquently said after the Houston game, they expect to win, right, and moral victories are for losers. And I think that is the way he should handle it as the head coach of this team.
Yeah.
As an Auburn fan, and is talking to you, the Auburn family, that I think you should go into this week, with low expectations and excited to just watch this team compete and figure out who they are.
Yeah.
Especially if they do not have their number one scorer. So, it's an exciting opportunity. How great is it that Auburn is a part of this kind of tournament? In no shape or form 20 years ago would Auburn have been a part of this tournament. They would have been like, who right in the world would put Auburn in this game, in this tournament?
Be losing money.
Lots. Now you could make the case that some of the teams in this tournament are also in that standing now because of Auburn's forthcoming into the world of college basketball.
Some would say your little brothers or something.
Some would say. However, on a broader note, Kyle, this is one of the best weeks in sports.
It is.
It is feast week. It is tons of good football.
Yeah.
It is rivalry week.
And
it is Thanksgiving. So there's tons of good basketball from the Players Era tournament, all to Maui, to the Bahamas, everything. Then you get rivalry. So enjoy this.
I listen. It's a good time for if you're a sports fan, a college sports fan, and so you definitely need to enjoy the heck out of this. But I'm really excited to find out what this Players Era tournament is going to look like, what it's going to be about, because I got so many questions. And I like what you said. Certainly, this will tell us a lot about the Auburn basketball team, but we're still so early in this game here. I wouldn't overreact, good or bad, to too much of this. I think that Houston game is really the benchmark, though, of kind of showing and proving to Auburn fans, no matter how high you get or low you get, that this Auburn team is ready to compete with the best of the best, and hopefully they show that out there in Vegas. I think we have time for one more thing. I would just want to ask it. You segued us right into this little thing. It's Thankfulness Week, Thanksgiving this week. Let's go for the good feel here, Austin. What are you most thankful for in the Auburn experience right now? Like, if you just had to say, this is the Auburn thing that I am most thankful for right now, what is it?
Oh man, this is not something we discussed pre-show at all.
I love putting you on the spot.
I know you do. Man, I'm very thankful for, a a lot has changed in my professional world as of late, and I see the Auburn experience from a different angle now as an employee. And I'm very thankful for, how welcoming and how incredibly kind everyone has been for Auburn at Auburn. And to me, as someone who's new there, not that it's the same being in the College of Education as the areas I have been a fan of for so long, but it's one of those scenarios where you hope that it's not the don't meet your heroes situation where you get there and you see see the muddiness and you see all the things that make you really turned off to it. It has not been that situation for me. Of course, I'm just a few months old, and like I said, I'm just in the College of Education, but I've been very thankful to see a university I've supported in a variety of ways for so long be just as welcoming as I've hoped it would be. And it's been very generous back to my family. So I'm very thankful for that. I'm thankful to live here, man. We joke all the time about me being a resident and whatnot, but man, I love living here. I love this place from everything from a big time high school football game, being here all weekend long.
That's what we were supposed. Sorry, go ahead.
All the way through the weekend of just seeing the fruits of people getting ready for Christmas around Auburn before Thanksgiving. I'm very thankful for how the Lord has blessed us in our time in Auburn post student life. It is the full Auburn experience to live it every day, and I couldn't be more grateful.
Wow, I mean, I did not expect that out of you. That's
on the spot, people.
That was on the spot too. I'm pretty impressed by that. So everything that I was about to say and more just kind of pales in comparison. So I'm just going to leave it at that. That was a great segment of Auburn thankfulness from Mr. Austin Scott. We got to squeeze this in here. I can't believe we didn't. What you just mentioned.
Oh yeah, man, Auburn Opelika.
A little community thing. It's still part of the Auburn experience. Auburn High School versus Opelika High School, the sister cities. That's why they call it the Auburn Opelika big time game. Obviously, it's a rivalry, and they play obviously earlier in the season. I think that's still the case. It's
yes, I don't remember what week it was, but it was the 100th annual meeting this year.
So that's always at play, but that is specialness. There was a winning streak for Auburn High, and which is leading us into what happened. They played in the semifinals of the 7A state championship playoffs. Opelika, in an incredible game, won and took down Auburn High School and stopped the streak in this special season. The town was all abuzz about it, even with the poor weather that started on the day. That's a really cool thing. So shout out to both schools that are in this little pocket of Alabama together. The two major high schools together got to go onto the big stage, and it would only been grander had it been for the state championship. But it was really I think we're going to admit you probably always have a slight affinity towards the Auburn High School just because says Auburn in it. But Opelika is just as much about part of that little unit, that little family as well. At least that's how I feel about it. So I want to wish a congratulations to them, and what a showing by both teams.
Certainly. Yeah. Congrats to Opelika High on their win. I think that they, locally, it feels like they are often viewed as the underdog. Certainly, they don't have their school is very nice. I don't want to misconstrue that, but certainly Auburn has the newer school building another new school. So we'll throw that in there too. There'll be a third school that'll be thrown into this mess as the years goes on. But I have never been, and it has been a like bucket list item as an Auburn resident for me to go to that game. And I did not get to go this time. That there are like physical tickets that sell out. You have to buy. You cannot buy at the gate for that game. Like the local businesses sell them leading up to that game during the regular season. I'm not sure how they did it for the semifinal, but I've always been working at a high school game, usually on a Friday night, and so we have not gone. But I'm hoping to in the future. But man, both cities just go nuts for it. I know there were live streams in downtown Opelika. There were live streams at the Heyday Market of the game. It's a big deal and crazy that they met in the semifinal. I always dreamed, like when I was in school, of them like meeting in the state championship at Jordan-Hare when they would host it. Because like that'd probably be the only time you like you sell out like Jordan-Hare, the lower bowl, for a state championship game.
Right.
But anyway, incredible game, really fun game. And yeah, congrats to Opelika. They looked like they might face another local team in Central Phoenix City, but they were dethroned by the Dynasty Thompson Warriors. So best of luck to Opelika playing Thompson in the 7A state championship in Birmingham in just like a week and a half, I think. So that'll be one to watch.
I think we'll be rooting for Opelika, and we'll see how they
Certainly
do. Hopefully we'll get to have a good update with them in the coming days or so. All right, well, that's an extended Auburn potpourri. We got to
holy cow.
We got to do our due diligence here. We are going to start off with football, and let's talk about Mercer. Obviously,
dropped a deuce on them.
How long have you been waiting to say
so that? Long.
Oh my gosh. I was not ready for
That's a shout out to my brother Ashton Scott. He every time Deuce scored, he sent me the poop emoji.
What are we, 5 years old on this show? This reminds me of a certain thing that continues to happen on one of our favorite radio shows right now.
You need a dump button.
I need a dump. Literally need a dump button. All right. Well, Mercer dump Deuce. Obviously, the matchup itself was not going to be the biggest talk. Everybody's looking to, one of the most frustrating things this week was trying to get people to focus on Mercer and just, hey, by the way, they can score, y'all. We found that out pretty quickly in the game. Just because they're FCS doesn't mean they're not going to be at least some of a challenge at times, and they were in the first
big time
quarter,
offense.
Big time offense. But the story really was never going to, whether the context was about what's been going on this season or just the game itself, it wasn't going to be the biggest game out there. But boy, were we treated to an exciting first quarter where they got a 14-7 lead, and I think we all thought, "Oh Lord,
oh boy,
here we go, we're about to lose our opportunity for an epic Iron Bowl with stakes for both teams." But thankfully, the Auburn Tigers take them down 62-17, and the bulk of that comes by way of first-time starter dropping a deuce on him, apparently for Austin. Deuce Knight. 4 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns. He had himself a day. This is the thing that everybody has been clamoring for. Everybody and their mama is the same. When is Deuce going to start? Well, folks, you still need to realize if he's not starting, that means he wasn't ready yet. It may take them a little while into the season to get to the point where they have the opportunity and are ready. Both those things have to coexist. But you finally got it. I enjoyed watching the kid a lot. I don't think he was – I think the numbers outweigh everybody's view of this. I think there were still some things that I saw out of him that show me he's still a freshman. But – I'm not going to dog the kid for that. I enjoyed watching him play so much, and it was such a ball.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. And I think people, we heard about him a lot on give Deuce a chance early in the season. Came out against Ball State in his kind of few drives and just struggled in his first kind of experience as a college football player. And then so to give him a whole – obviously a week with the one, splitting between he and Jackson and the nod to start and the game plan starting around him was really impressive to see him and see his progression even from a couple months ago to now.
Yep.
But you can see everything that made him really special and a 5-star quarterback in high school and all things. The athletic ability is off the charts. The developing what you need to do when things don't pan out and creating your own offense it was just natural to him. He just glides. His running strides. I told my brother my brother was driving from Colorado to home for Thanksgiving and was not watching but listening, and he was like, "What is he fast like Nick, or is he like running like?" And just slow your roll, folks. But is he running like Cam? Like, what does it look like? But I said it's more like Cam in that he's long and his legs are just like large strides. Like he's literally like gliding in his run like a gazelle almost. Like he's not quick. I didn't get the feel he was fast.
Sure.
Like certainly speedy, but it was the long strides just separate him.
Right.
And so, like you said, it was a joy to watch and just really fun. It was Mercer. I do want to preface that and just say, like, certainly they are a talented team in their own right, but he is Mercer. It was Mercer, and so I think that we can get wrapped up in the emotion, and that's okay. It was an incredible performance from the kid.
Yeah.
We all saw the stats, things that haven't been done here from a quarterback or from a player in years. But Ashton Daniels is going to start the Iron Bowl. I just hope everybody is like fully aware of Ashton Daniels will start the Iron Bowl.
Please operate in real reality, folks.
Now, does this give Derek Nix and this offensive staff to be like, hey, we can put this kid out there and do something if we need to? Like, we need a yard. Let's see what we can do. And so I think it was just nothing but positive to be able to see from this Auburn offense, and nothing but things that you can also make sure you have Alabama planning for this week.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Deuce did exactly what the doctor ordered for people. People that wanted to see what he could do. We did that. I like what you talked about with him gliding. We took a video of that first run, his first play as a starter. And it just was so weird watching him run because, like you said, it wasn't like it felt like he wasn't trying. And then all of a sudden I realized, oh, he's not going to get tackled. He's going to go for a touchdown.
And that's what I mean. Like and I'm not saying he's Cam Newton, but like that's how we felt.
Stop doing that to kids, folks.
That's how we felt when Cam played Arkansas State that first game. Is I was like, oh, that guy's they're not going to catch him, and he's not that fast. Like, he's not moving at like a speed that you're like, oh, he's gone. It's like they're just not going to catch him because his legs are just longer than theirs. That's exactly how it felt watching him on the first play, and then that 50-yard run when he just sliced through the D.
Enjoyed watching, but folks, let's keep this in perspective. It was Mercer, and he's not Cam Newton. Let Deuce Knight Deuce Knight.
That's right.
Let him make his own story, and we'll continue to celebrate Cam Newton as we did during the season, retiring number 2. That whole thing got stirred up again this week. Tell me I don't need to listen to you more without. Anyway, that's an overused phrase. But congrats to Deuce for such a great game. But we enjoyed watching the heck out of you. Quick grades here: offense, defense, special teams. I will get us started for Mercer. As we just gushed about the offense, whether it was Deuce, I think Jackson, did fine with what he was offered with. He took a sack or two, which whether it was his fault or the line's fault is up in the air, but had a great run himself. Running backs were a little bit disappointing to me in this game, and whether that's more on the running backs or the offensive line not providing room for them to work within what they were trying to do. Wide receivers had great moments. Cam had a great toss. I'll just give an A. Just some few minor things will keep me from doing an A+, but you're supposed to put up 62 points on Mercer, so I'm glad they did.
Certainly, and I think, like you said, the running backs room was kind of I don't want to say confusing, but just Jeremiah Cobb did not quite perform like Deuce was able to do what he wanted. And Justin Jones was doing well as well. We didn't see Omar Mabson.
I know.
And so, just you wonder about the health of that room, but I'm with you. It's an A. Like you put up 62 points, and now we'll take Elijah Mendez's pick six here off of that. You put up 55 points, or if we want to take the field goals off. I'm not doing all that math.
Don't do that.
But you put up what you're supposed to against Mercer.
Yeah.
And the offense, it continues to provide encouragement and build something to build upon going into the most important game of the year.
I'll say on defense, that first quarter wasn't great, but as it's been pointed out in our chat by some of our live viewers, Durkin lit a fire under him. In fact, I saw him one specific time go over to Caleb Harris, and I think he was using Caleb Harris, what he was saying to him, to speak to the rest of the defense. It was like speaking through him, and literally the next play, Caleb Harris makes a great play, and so it's just like, okay, they got the ship righted again. It's not how you start; it's how you finish the job.
Right.
So, I'll go with that one because they, after the first 17 points, locked everything down for the rest of the game. I'll go A- because they this was an offense that was supposed to score some points, and they did very quickly, and that was a little bit scary. But I'll go ahead and pass.
No, certainly. I had B+ before today, but I feel all the same things you did. I think we all got nervous after the first 17 points, but I think a trend, and it doesn't make him any better or worse of a defensive coordinator, but I think a trend of DJ Durkins is he's got to see what it is on the field. He can prep all week, but there's adjustments that are made in game that tend to serve him very well. And I think Mercer caught a few things by surprise. Certainly caught Auburn by surprise. And look, they're human kids. They're kids. There's not to say they're not looking forward to next week already. And certainly in a team like Mercer, who Auburn is supposed to win, they know that just as well as we do. I'm not surprised by them coming out and getting punched in the mouth. Certainly, you don't want to see that. But I agree. I think it shows a lot from the coaching staff and from the players that you make the adjustments and they work and you stick to them and you beat the opponent like you're supposed to.
I'm going to say special teams. I'm not even going to talk about the rest of it because of Alex McPherson. He makes 2 very long kicks. I think the longest of his season thus far, 49. A+ for me. And I know, I think there was a muffed punt kick return, something like that one time, but I'm just going to, I told y'all last week I want them to go with reckless abandon for the rest of the season, so I'm ignoring it at this point. So call me inconsistent. I don't care. A+ for me out of special teams. Anything
I did think about you on that kickoff. They ran into each other, and I thought, oh my gosh,
reckless abandon.
You're right.
They listened to the show.
It's an A+. To see Alex continue to do his thing, Kyle, he is 18 for 21 on the year.
Yeah,
and all 3 in that Missouri game. It was truly an anomaly, an anomaly for that kid. And I hate it for him, but he has done everything you can ask for in all the other games. So I think, look, that this will lead us into it. But Auburn is always going to need a strong kicker when it comes to the Iron Bowl. And at home, they will have it. Certainly, they win that advantage.
And leading that into us, our conversation, because no matter how much Alabama tries to get better at kicking, and no matter how much Auburn may struggle at times of the last season, just because of things out of players' control at kicking, the Iron Bowl, Auburn always has the advantage. We are kicker you, not you. But they actually got a little bit into their kicker last week from what I saw, and so there was a little bit of that going around from comments.
Look, man, they know they booed that kid.
They're like, we can't have this in Jordan Hare. We got too much trauma.
He missed that 28-yarder and then came out to kick the extra point, and they just booed the heck out of him. I mean, they know, and as they should, that they are walking into, and this is where I get on to you, a 6:30 kickoff for the Iron Bowl.
I've never been more happy to be wrong.
Which I have said from the summer. I just want to say that. From the summer. Now, did I believe it up until it happened? But we got a 6:30 kickoff in the haunted house of Jordan Hare Stadium. And all certainly, I thought we might even get a college game day today.
Have they announced it yet?
They did. They're going to Ann Arbor, Michigan for the game for like the 8th straight year.
You're not the game if you have to call yourself the game.
It's also just like they've gone. It's whatever. I don't want to talk about it.
It's fine. It's whatever. They want to go there and be lame. That's fine.
And SEC Nation's going to Knoxville. We're getting nothing. But
excuse me.
That's correct.
Who do I need to go slap around?
They did not come to Auburn this year. I just want to put that out there.
Who do I need to go slap around? Let's go do it right now.
I would say Ryan McGee, but I like him too much.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, we got the Iron Bowl, Kyle. The greatest rivalry in all of sports. Here, it'll cap our great week here. As we, some of us have Thanksgiving with the other side of the state, and we're going to be you deal with them all year, but you deal with them all week, especially this week.
It's a fun time of the year. I've been looking forward to it. And we sit here with Auburn needing a win for bowl eligibility. And we sit here with Alabama needing a win to secure their spot in the SEC championship game, thus potentially securing their spot in the playoff. Meaning if they were to lose this game, it seems more unlikely than not that they're not going to make it into any of those things. Definitely not the SEC championship game, but not even the playoff. So lots of emotions already. even more now, there are implications, which is odd to think about the year that's Auburn's having, that this game could be built up this way. You throw in the official nighttime kickoff. Let me just look right here in the camera. Folks, we understand that when the ball kicks off like 2, 3, that we end at night. We have talked about that here on this show for ages. So trust me, we have heard you in your comment section. We got it. Trust me. All right. Point's been made. Sorry, I'm getting a little perturbed.
You've had a few comments this week.
I'm just like, please read the comment sections before you make your comment and see if somebody already made the stupid comment that you're about to make. All right, I'm done. Anyway, nighttime. We're so blessed. All right, prediction time. Go on the record, Austin. What are we doing?
Oh man,
you every week. Every week. I know. This isn't a shock. Let's go,
man. I like I said, the stars are aligned for Auburn to be able to pull off something like this. Mm-hmm. And I think
because it's a night game.
It's a night game. The kicker issues. Auburn has just like the emotional momentum.
Yeah.
The offense is alive. And it's going to be a wonderful football weather. But I think Auburn we end in a heartbreak, similar, not in overtime, but similar to the 2021 or 2023. I guess both of them. They were both heartbreakers.
Thanks for that. Appreciate
You're welcome.
That.
Similar to something like that. I desperately hope I'm wrong. But I just feel like something like that ends up happening to Auburn. I feel like they have all the chance to win it, and it would not surprise me in the least bit, truly, if Auburn wins this game. Over the course of the Iron Bowl, you don't see these like what's the word? My word here, like massive, earth-shattering upsets. Where like in the last 25 years or so, where like the really underwhelming team takes over the top team. So I'm kind of leaning on a little bit of history for that, but man, it wouldn't surprise me. And man, I hope I'm wrong. But I have a feeling it's a less than 5-point win for Alabama.
And I believe you picked the Auburn to win in the preseason, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong.
Well, as the season's gone on, Kyle, I've been wrong on a lot of those games.
We both have. I remember I picked Alabama to win in preseason. I will not be doing the preview and prediction show this week just because it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, sure.
So I will go.
So give it to us.
I will go on the record with you right here, right now, by the score, and I'm just off the cuff, not even thinking about it.
Boom.
31-21. The Auburn Tigers win.
Boom, baby.
I'm calling it right now. I didn't even think about it. Didn't even think about it. 31-21.
Let's do it.
The Auburn Tigers win. So y'all can scream at Austin or say at least
come at
smart.
Me. Let me be wrong. Let me be wrong.
Finally, you heard it here first. If I called the miracle of the century,
I'll be in section 12 begging I'm wrong.
There we go. I'm on the record. He's on the record. Enjoy it, folks. The Iron Bowl is the greatest rivalry in all of sports. Period. Don't have to put the game on it to actually be. You just are. Okay, last thing here. We're just way over on time. We got to put this part in here, and maybe the last time we get the opportunity to do it. I don't know why. We have to speculate and offer some percentage confidence. And when I say I
forgot. Yeah.
Percentage confidence of who's going to be the next Auburn football head coach. We've done this I think this will be the 4th time we've done this, and the field is narrowed down,
like that, yeah.
Over time, either just by speculation or by, James Franklin taking a job somewhere else, even though he was probably not that high up there. But I think we sit here now, Austin, with the reality sinking in, if you're just paying attention, that there are 3 primary candidates. That would be one, Eli Drinkwitz. That would be one, John Sumrall. That would be the other one, DJ Durkin. Do you disagree in any way? Anybody else you'd like to throw out there? Is that it?
No, that would be the 3. I think if you're reading the tea leaves, you're pretty aware. But that would be the 3, I think, that have a shot at this job at this point. And really, if we wanted to, we could probably trim that down to 2.
Sure.
But, what fun would that be? So we'll stick it at 3.
Let's just throw it in there. You never know. I mean, you might wake up one day or come sit down in your office and realize, hey, there's a guy from Boise State coming to be your head coach, and you had
a lot of dominoes are about to start falling.
Yeah,
so you never know where you end up.
Yeah, and believe it or not, Auburn's going to probably be on, I would hope on the better side of those things in terms of just like not catching the fallout of it all, like making their decisions up front. All right, so you've got 3 options, Austin. I want percentage confidence from you. I'm going to just give them to you by name. Are you ready, sir?
I'm ready, and they will total 100 again. I just want
we'll
to say
see
that.
if he does his math correctly.
I got my math. I've already done it.
DJ Durkin.
40%.
40%. Eli Drinkwitz.
10%. And
John
you
Sumrall.
Can even do that math, Kyle.
And John
Sumrall at 50%.
So we've got basically an order ranking of John Sumrall, very close behind DJ, and then Eli just kind of out there.
That's how I see it. I mean, I think John Sumrall has. I think he's been the leader for a long time. We've said that. I think he's probably gonna be it at this point. I think that outside of him taking a job or the playoff becoming an issue, I think that he is probably the next head coach of your Auburn Tigers. Now, certainly DJ Durkin can do a lot for himself this weekend.
Absolutely.
I'm not of the opinion that one game should alter his candidacy of like magnitude. Like, oh, he wins, he should definitely get it. I think you have to still do what you believe. And me talking to John Cohen, still believe what you think is for Auburn, and that is certainly for him to decide. It'll be certainly his job. But that's kind of the way I see it right now. That those are not my opinions of who I would want or anything like that. That's just how I see the facts and of what we look to be headed towards. So we should know. Hopefully we know something by the next episode. You hear from Kyle and me.
Whether you like the choice or not, or the choice is, I think we all recognize Auburn's going to be in a better situation if they make this decision quicker and don't get in the fallout of everything. So I think that's what you need to be hoping for right now. Let's get some continuity going. Let's get the anticipation built for a recruiting class that's got to come together, all that kind of stuff. So whether we're doing this again or this is the last time, there you have it. Austin's on the record, so y'all can scream at him for yet another thing in the comment section when he's wrong about it. Bring it on.
Come on. They will.
That's what he says.
It's not my hair, but they will.
All right. Last thing, we're going to spend time on our last main topic. And frankly, I think we could spend a lot of time on this, but we got to be good. This is not going to be sports related. This is definitely like our culture area, but it's more about the academics and stuff like this. But I know that's going to be like, oh, everybody's going to tune out. No, there is a integral piece of Auburn's structure. In fact, I would say, Austin, that if we were to remove said structure, I'm not certain that there's not a fault line under it that will just cause Auburn to fall into the ground. I think Haley Center is that integral to Auburn's history and physical well-being. That's my opinion. You don't have to hold that opinion. I acknowledge that there are still people from the 1970s lost in quadrants.
The individuals who are lost in there don't think that way, but
if you can find your way in there and help them out, I mean, they still don't know what's been going on. They don't know that we have 9 national champions now, So
we didn't even talk about that.
We didn't talk about that. Too much to talk about this week. But why we're bringing this up today? I think personally, I'll just say to me, I need to do a better job of this so we can be prepared to talk on this show about it. But when they have these board of trustees meetings, there's a lot of good information that comes out about this. And one of those happened, at least recently, at least a report came out about it. Other things, announcements for other updates and things or things that are being explored. But the future of the Haley Center is officially, I want to say, on the table. However, I find it very interesting in the article that they wrote to talk about the announcement from the Board of Trustees. It's the Haley Center with a sunset behind it. And so to me, that felt very ominous. And when you read it, and we're not going to read like the full thing on here, but basically here's the first couple lines. The Auburn University Board of Trustees has approved a comprehensive evaluation of Haley Center to determine the future of the university's busiest and largest academic building. There's a couple other sentences in here that I think are very key if you take the time to go and read it about this, because when you see that photo, you hear the future of it, people start thinking, is Haley Center going to go away? And let's be honest, it's probably like Spinal Hall that just got demolished. One of those that's, I mean, once it doesn't have a use
aged.
anymore, it's aged. It's probably got some stuff in it. Let's just put that out there. What happens to it? So, no real agenda here, Austin, but you've seen the article, you've seen the discussions about it. Are you, in your mind, with Auburn announcing they are beginning stages of exploring how to integrate it into the future, what needs to happen, are we in danger of losing Haley Center?
Yeah, I think you have to say you are. I think that when you look at, the kind of, and I'm just reading from the Vice President of AU Facilities Management, Mr. Jim Carroll, when he says we have to make a choice whether we replace it in the same envelope, size, and scale, or if we do something different, and that this is a comprehensive renovation option, or demolish and replace with a new building. I think when you see that there is a real chance that you could. Now, I'm of the personal belief I don't think that will happen. I think that they will take this year-long review to look at it, and I think that they'll probably look at, just my best guess, I'm not a construction person. I'm far from it. I don't know how to build anything. But I think that they'll probably come back at this and look and see that it's probably going to be a more pricey move than altering what Haley looks like.
Yeah.
As a nostalgia person, there's people who just can't stand Haley and hate Haley more than anything. I don't hate it. To me, it's become one of those Auburn lore nostalgic things that has grown on me and become part of just what campus is. I know for a fact my father fell in love with Auburn the first time he went to it in the Haley Center, and just thought that it was just the most crazy thing he'd ever seen, being in Auburn, Alabama, coming from where he was. So I think it's a landmark that I would be sad to see torn down, sure, truly. But I do think that it could be I think it could be a gorgeous building, like if you really spend the money to reface it, renovate it, make it what it is. Like you said, I don't think that it's really going to be anytime soon that we actually see the TNT and Wile E. Coyote and Rube running out there pushing the button to make it come down. It is housing the College of help me, Kyle, Human Sciences.
Yeah, I can give you this. So
go ahead.
I'm glad you brought up dates and stuff like that, because here's the reality of the situation. I think there's 3 key factors in here that are going to show you this isn't coming quickly. First of all, they just renovated the Auburn University bookstore. Sorry, Iron Bowl week, folks. I got it all in my head right now. The Auburn University bookstore. Shout out to them, by the way. Enjoy sharing their buttons every week. So that is one thing I think that, in fact, I would say I know for a fact that is helping its case.
That was two. It says that will be taken into account.
Yes. So that
was $2 million. They're already on the books for.
So you got to get your money's worth out of that. You also have if people didn't know about this, I missed sharing this about Comer Hall, the main building of agriculture, has been gutted and is being reworked.
I had no idea.
Yeah, if you go over there, in fact, it looks somewhat better now, but there was a point where I was like, good Lord, geez, give it a little bit.
I knew they had the yellow things out of it, but I thought, maybe HVAC's problem.
Yeah, fall 2026 is when they get to apparently move back to there. So they will exit Haley. But after that, we've just taken down Spidal Hall, which means Human Sciences has got to have the College of Human Sciences has their home there for 2027, fall of 2027. So until the school year of 2027-28, I don't think you're going to see a change like that. That feels guaranteed, to be honest with you.
I completely agree. And even still, when Human Sciences leaves, it's not going to be an empty building. There will still be people in there. I don't know who's in there the most, but I know there's offices.
Yeah.
The College of Education's moved out because of a brand new building, but it's not like, all right, everybody's in a place so we can tear this down, no problem. There will still have to be things in there. So you tear that down and you're without it for a couple of years. You got to put those people other places. And this is all things why they're doing a review for a year. They will figure this out. They will figure out what the best move is. I'm fully confident in them being able to do that. I think it's just a matter of it's going to be very interesting to see what they come back with, what's ultimately decided about Haley. It feels like outside of so many people for so long is, Haley, or, it's an eyesore, tear the tower down. Now there is actual movement on something could be done with Haley Center whether it be a renovation or a complete tear down, which what a massive piece of property. I thought it was so interesting that Haley Center is the same size combined with the Mel classroom building and RBD, the library, which are massive buildings, and that's all the same surface area as Haley. So it's not something you just tear down and rebuild back in a new spot.
So let me put it to you this way to round out our conversation. I have a lot of affinity for the Haley Center because when you talk about core memories, I have this memory the first times I remember being taken to Auburn by my parents. And I'll just throw it out here. I don't know if my mom's watching tonight. She's an Alabama fan, but she went to Auburn. And, we all have our problems, Sorry.
Hey, we've all fallen short of the glory of God.
That's right. We love her anyway. Love you, Mom. But I remember both of them taking me into Haley, and I can still, obviously, I went in it this weekend, but I remember that smell still being there, or the feel of, walking around in Haley, like just that nostalgia is there, and I would hate to see that. But the reality is something is going to change. So that probably means a renovation at the very least, even if it's just of the core building or whatever that may be. So I'm putting us on the spot here tonight, Austin. The College of Ag will move out in 2026. The College of Human Sciences will move out in 2027, which means we're going to estimate after the school year of 27-28, Haley Center may go through a major, if not already started, construction, renovation, whatever it is. What if we're going to retain it and it's just a big renovation? What do you do with it? Any guesses or just any opinions about what you think it should be? Because a lot of these colleges amongst Auburn have their new homes and the new locations. And so there's not really something that I know of that needs a home. What do you think?
Sure. I'll be honest. And a friend of mine shared this with me several years ago. Is that I don't know if you're aware, and this is old information, but the Auburn Student Center hasn't changed. So I would think it's still current. That the Auburn University Student Center is the smallest by all other SEC schools. So my proposal and what something might happen is I would say that I do not see them tearing it down top to bottom. I just cannot see that. One, I think you're in the very middle of campus. That seems like a very risky business move. And just seems like a possible disaster waiting to happen. And with the tower in the middle, just so many offices. I truly think that what you could see and what I might want to investigate more, should I be anywhere close to this or important enough to look at this, I'm not, that I would like to see the two quadrants closest to the student center maybe come down. You renovate the tower and the rest, make it look really nice, the Haley Center, everything part of it, those two quadrants closer to, I don't know the numbers. I cannot remember that system for the life of me. The two numbers or the two quadrants closest to like Titchener and Thatch and Foy. I think Foy was 4, so maybe 4 and 1. I'm going to say 1 and 4. You keep those and maybe get rid of 2 and 3. I don't think that's right. And then so
it's a struggle.
Who knows, man? Somebody's yelling at me like, "Duh, it's this." I'm like, I don't know. I don't
remember the ones that are probably lost in Haley right now.
Yeah. And then you expand and extend the student center.
Okay.
I think the student center needs to grow. I think it is a pivotal piece of campus that more students probably go into and rely on in Haley. And I think if you take out the two quadrants closest to it, you can do that.
Sure.
And still have general classrooms in Haley in those two quadrants in the tower and all the offices you need, but a major renovation of those. It's going to be a huge project and a big price ticket. But that would be something I would be interested in exploring. Now, certainly I hate you would lose some of Haley.
Sure.
And I think, but also if you think about it, that quadrant, you also keep the bookstore right there. And you kind of take out some other purses and consolidate your space and put more emphasis on the students, who in my personal opinion is where you should be putting emphasis for anyway, and expand that student center, give more dining options, all the things.
I don't have a strong opinion about what it could or should be. I think I like what you said there. The reality is something is going to majorly change about it. And it could be a partial takedown of that. And so that's a good point to bring up there from a practical sense. To me, and I'm going to throw something out here, and I don't know. I saw that as well in the comment section.
I'm a fan.
We'll take it. one of the biggest things that's always changing and growing is the need for more students and more student housing. I'm of the opinion that why wouldn't you just mega renovate that and make that the main freshman student housing? Like that is where Auburn's freshmen go, and then you can have whatever around it. And then in the center tower can be offices, but also like your main resource center for college freshmen. And then I know it's a much bigger topic than just saying simply, oh, freshmen go here. But that's kind of what I just thought was like, if we only have so many classes that need to happen there, some do, maybe explore something like that, some special facilities. Maybe you can combine something with the whole partially being used for more space for the student center as it is now, because we know freshmen probably use that a ton. So I think there's a lot of ways that you go this. And here's the reality. There's probably some colleges and other departments that are going to still need that space and probably need more permanent spaces down the line. And that may be what actually happens. But I think whether you hate the Haley Center, whether you love it, the reality is it is one of the major talking points in Auburn culture. And it would be sad to see it go away in some respect, because we won't at least have that joke officially still living with us to, to do that. But no, I just wanted to propose that to folks. It is the start as we sit here.
Something's in my eye. I'm not crying.
He's just crying all about it.
I'm really not.
Here in 2025 with this announcement that an investigation, but a
review.
A review of what should happen is underway. So this is the first time Austin and I have had the opportunity to acknowledge, hey, it's happening. And we'll be having to follow closely with what the future of Haley Center might be. Maybe they can finally get those people out of the quadrants from the 1970s. That's going to do it for episode 151 of the Auburn Experience podcast. We thank you guys for sticking around with us for a longer one today, and appreciate that. If you want to keep up with me, you can do so on X, I'm there, at Loomis24, E2C Network at gmail.com for all of our email requests, or you can DM us and E2C Network DMs on social media. Where can they find you?
Yeah, at Austin G. Scott is where you can find me on X on Instagram, and hit me up. Hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, be thankful, and of course,
eat lots of food.
Of course, beat Bama.
That's right. There you go. Look, I didn't even notice. I'm proud of you. Good one.
I took you all show to figure out that I
really
was wearing
did.
that one.
Now, the mic is blocking it, but I see it now.
There you go. Y'all have a great week. Rivalry week. Thanksgiving
Rivalry week.
It's going to be a good one, as always. As we leave,
Feast week.
Feast week. I want you to remember the Auburn Creed asks you to do these things: to do justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with God. We ask you to do the same. War Eagle.
War Eagle.
All right, folks, I'm going to leave a few minutes for you guys for questions. Austin has been gracious to stay a little bit longer, so anything for you, sir?
I mean, how long are you saying? Like just a few minutes?
I
can hang.
By the sounds of it, I probably need to be a few minutes.
I'll hang with you for a few minutes.
Okay, all right. We'll get out of here quick.
Freaking eye.
You get yourself figured out while I tell them what's coming up next. All right, here is the schedule for this week, folks, and let me. Wow, I'm so glad I didn't cut away before that. Here is, this is always a tentative thing when I bring these up to you at the end of the live streams, but I cannot stress the tentative nature of this entire week. What I do know for sure is we'll be doing these shows at the very least. Well, I'm 99% sure. Auburn post-game basketball shows, Auburn, Oregon, Auburn, Michigan, and then whoever they happen on Wednesday. Austin's doing crazy things in the background that only I can see. Thank you for that, sir. So post-game shows are going to be happening Monday, Tuesday. I'm going to do my best to figure out Wednesday. We won't know the game, the opponent, the time yet. We're also supposed to have, there's the Michigan one.
When do we find out? Like after the Michigan game?
I'm sure all the other games of Tuesday have got to figure out before you know. Like that's the question, so. Right? So we won't know.
I just want to know what game to watch to know who we're going to play.
Right. Auburn Family Night is supposed to happen on Wednesday, and that is the plan right now. We'll be from a different location. But if basketball conflicts with that, I know, right? We'll switch things up a little bit. So that's why I stress tentative. There is no preview and prediction show. There will be a post-game, obviously, Iron Bow show from the mobile broadcast studio, a.k.a. my car, very late. And hopefully it's even later because
it will be late. Amen.
But that's what you get to expect. And, of course, we'll be back together in a week. that's all the announcements I have for you guys. All right, a couple of questions and comments were brought up here. This is from Susan. There's a picture of me in the bulletin board display outside the foreign language offices on the 6th floor. It's from 1976.
When's the last time you checked that? Is it still there? Like, for real? That'd be impressive.
We need to go investigate this now.
Yeah, I want to see that.
That's Miss Susan Melton. I didn't know if you had met her before. Yeah, I figured you had.
I did this week. I've tried before, and I don't know if they just had somebody this week, but I always go in there, and when the bathroom line's too long, like I just take the stairs, go up to the second level, and find the bathroom there. Well, this week I turned the corner, and there was a security guard right there, and I don't know her name, so I can't rat her out. But she was like, "I don't care." She was like, "Just go." I was like, "Thank you."
This is from Brian. He says he thinks that the Haley Center should have a state-of-the-art studio where our podcast broadcasts.
Couldn't agree more. Brian, I'm going to say you give enough money, we can make that happen.
Well, we can certainly make that happen. And trust me, we've done a little bit of investigating about how some things, and it takes some money to broadcast from
just a little bit.
All right. I need to give a shout out to Hunter for the super chat earlier in the show. And from my recommendations, he and his lovely wife, I met them this weekend. I met him previously, but they tried Toomer's Lemonade for the first time, which I can finally give him his Auburn card back now because it took him forever to try Toomer's Lemonade. They asked me what to do. I said, strawberry lemonade is the way to go. However, if you've never tried the original, one of you has to get the original.
That's right.
And one of you has to get the strawberry. And I'm taking it they did both, and strawberry won out. You agree?
Yeah, you should definitely get the original and another flavor at the very least. Like, you can't knock it down. Strawberry is good. I really like raspberry. If you haven't had it,
we can't be friends anymore.
Strawberry's good, but you can try other ones.
Raspberry's fine. I liked it. The thing is you get real strawberry bits.
You do. That is the only one that does that. I do agree with you there.
This is from Hunter as well. If I was Durkin, I would have ensured that he got the record and scored a 7th touchdown. I hate they pulled him once they tied that record. I think they made a play for that, if I remember things correctly, and it just didn't
came
work
back
out.
in.
Yeah. So I think they tried to. And they also asked Keldrick and Jeremiah updates. They were very cryptic about Keldrick. So I don't have an update.
Who also went through senior day, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't want to talk about that, but that was,
yeah.
Try and you'll get lost. I'm in the bowels
in the bowels of Haley.
That's well played there with some other things.
Appreciate
we talked about,
Dennis.
All right, sir. Anything from you to wrap up?
No, I don't think so. My hair's doing fine for anybody that cares, and everything's good on my end. I thought I saw something else.
Yeah, if there's anything else that you wanted me to address, please do. Yeah. We didn't bring that up officially, Susan, but
that tends to be a trend around campus.
It's when you have construction of that era, that's there.
That's right.
So anyway, all right, folks, we're gonna get out of here. I've got things to attend to. It sounds like. I know Austin's got to go to get some rest and go
get my 99
work for the man tomorrow. But thank you guys for hanging out with us and being part of our little family within the Auburn family. Until we talk to you all again, thank you for your patience tonight and sticking with us throughout this.
War Eagle.
War Eagle.